Today we're going to be talking about lesson 2.3, subtracting rational numbers. So when we're subtracting rational numbers, just like when we subtracted integers, we're going to use the rule keep, change, change. So we're going to keep the first number. We're going to change subtraction to addition. We're going to change the sign of the next number, just like we did in chapter 1. So now, once you have this written down, you can move on to numbers 1 through 3. So go ahead and give numbers 1 through 3 a try using the keep, change, change method. Now remember, when we add and subtract fractions, they have to have a common denominator. Now that you've had a chance to give these a try, we are going to take a look at them together. So again, keep, change, change. Now that we've done that, we can use the rules for addition. These already have common denominators and they have the same sign. So we must add them and keep the sign. So 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. Now again, we keep, we change, we change. Now in order to add these, we have to have like terms, not like terms. We have to have common denominators. So the common denominator between 3 and 6 would be 6. So -3 and how many 6 plus -5, 6. Now 1/3, 3 times 2 is 6. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to snowball this mixed number or change it into an improper fraction. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So we have -26 plus -5/6. These two have same sign, so we add them. 20 and 5 is 25, and we keep the sign. Since this is an improper fraction and the numerator is larger than the denominator, we have to simplify. So we're going to divide 25 by 6. 6 can go into 25 4 times, and we have 1 left over. So this is 4 and 1/6. So our answer to this one is -4 and 1/6. Now again, on the third one, we keep, we change, and we need to have common denominators. So the common denominator between 2 and 4 would be 4. One half is like 2 out of 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Next, we would snowball both numbers. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Now, these two numbers have opposite signs, so we must subtract them. 21 take away 18 is 3. Keep the denominator of 4, and since they have opposite signs, we subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So our answer here would be -3/4. Now, as you take a look at numbers 4 through 6, go ahead and give these a try using that keep, change, change rule. Now remember, when we're adding and subtracting decimals, we must line up the decimal point. Now that you've had a chance to give these a try on your own, we're going to look at them together. So again, keep the first number, change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the next number. These two have the same sign, so we must add them. 4 and 7 is 11. 1 and 8 is 9. And 6 is 15. Bring the decimal point straight down. So when they have the same sign, we add them and keep the sign. So our answer is negative 15.1. Again, we keep, we change, we change. These two numbers have opposite signs, so our rules from chapter 1 tell us that we must subtract them. When you're subtracting them, you always want to put the bigger number on top. So like here, I would have compared 8 and 6. 8 would have been on the top. Since we were adding them, it didn't really matter. But that would be how I would determine for subtraction. These two, they are the same, so it doesn't particularly matter which one goes on top. So opposite signs, so again, we subtract. 5 take away 5 is 0, 0 take away 0 is 0, and 2 take away 2 is 0. So here we can see that our answer is simply 0. 0 does not need a sign, either positive or negative. Now on this number 6 here, again, we keep, we change, we change. These now have the same sign, so I add them. 1 and 7 is 8, 4 and 0 is 4, 0 and 0 is 0. Drop that decimal point straight down, and since they have the same sign, I keep the sign. On this last one here, go ahead and think about what we talked about from chapter 1 on distance. What does it mean when we're talking about distance? When we were talking about distance, we're talking about always being a positive answer. So distance is always positive. So when we're trying to find the distance between these two numbers, we can set it up as negative 7.5 minus negative 15.3 because we're trying to find the difference between them. How far apart are they? So again, we can use this keep, change, change. Now they have opposite signs, we subtract. 15 is bigger than 7, so 15.3 goes on top, and the 7.5 goes on the bottom. We can't take 5 away from 3, so we have to borrow from this 5. It becomes 4. We add an entire group, which in place value is 10, so 10 and 3 is 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. We can't take 7 away from 4, so we borrow from the 1. It becomes a 0, and the 4 becomes a 14. 14 take away 7 is 7. Bring that decimal point straight down, and again, we keep the sign of the larger number, which was positive. Now, a good way to go back and check our answer is we know that distance is always going to be a positive number. Our answer ended up being a positive number, so that's a good indication that we've probably performed the problem correctly.